Hey there, this is 36 Drew coming to you from the N3O clan. Just doing a little VOD. VOD, of course, meaning very orangutan-like demonstration. Purpose of this VOD is twofold, possibly threefold. Number one, there's been a couple requests in the clan from people that are wondering how you play Ottoman, especially 1.01. Gonna tell you right now, it's a frustrating civ to play at times, but it is pretty fun. It's got a lot of unique units. Janissaries, Abus guns, Spahi, Mamelukes, Bombards, Cav archers, a million things. There's not a lot of standard things like muskets, skirmishers, and other things. So the purpose is going to show you a basic build, as well as hopefully a little bit of entertainment. Don't be surprised if one of the clan members has a significant other popping up in the middle or end of the video. So one thing you'll notice here that's really important to point out, I posted this build on the website, but sometimes it's easier to give a demonstration about. On this map I didn't start with a extra wood crate, so you'll notice that I had to chop 50 wood to get a house and a trading post. Mathematically, it still makes sense on paper. You'll end up getting that 3 villager shipment in quicker with the trading post, and you don't actually lose any age up time from taking 3 settlers to gather an extra 50 wood. One of the things also is you can't let your settlers go over 100 wood. Like I went to 101 wood, and I mean that's pretty good. If you end up getting like 110, 120, 130, you got to really keep an eye on that because you're wasting villager seconds, which are going to be huge early game, especially playing a civ like Aztec, who of course can put together a hell of a rush. The strategy I'm going to use is going to be Hussars and Abus guns. It's a pretty good combination, and I think you'll find it useful in a lot of situations, especially against an Aztec player. One of the things you'll notice, and this sort of goes without saying at higher levels, if there's a scout treasure and it's, you know, an easy to gather one, most of them are, even the 1 and 2 scout treasures, just usually easy. That treasure should take priority almost 100% of the time. In a situation like this, the only one I can think of that I might consider gathering first would be on this map anyway, would be the 160 food guarded by an outlaw and 2 coyotes. You notice that I just switched a great deal of my villagers to wood. I did all but 2. The 2 just stay on the hunts. They'll gather the food I'm going to need to research stagecoach in the next age, and the others are going to go to getting a 2nd trading post right away. And also I like to keep, you know, for example, if I have 2 downed animals there and 2 villagers, keep 1 per herd so that you're not just losing food because of decay there. Another thing here is as I'm microing this treasure, as soon as I get the 250 wood to build that next trading post, I am going to build it. I'm not going to waste any time here microing that last treasure guardian because I need that trading post as soon as possible. Now one of the things you'll notice here is it's very rare to get a map screw on Great Plains, if there is such a thing. I kinda have one here. My 2nd hunt, it's not that it's particularly far, it's a little far, but it's behind a lake. I was searching around for it, and I didn't quite expect to see that lake there. Usually there's some sort of water there, but it's not quite so interfering. First card in the 2nd age is 700 wood. You'll notice also that as soon as I start gathering the wood crates, I immediately research stagecoach. You do that before you build your stables or anything else. That's going to take first priority, because you really need those resources. I recently read some math on Age Sanctuary that, you know, kind of said, well, first of all trading posts aren't created equal, which is kind of weird, but it kind of made sense. Also, Great Plains is actually one of the better maps for that, according to the post. It also said that they aren't really as worth it as people would think. However, in my experience, and especially as an auto player, I think that it's, they're pretty much your savior. Try playing on a map like Bayou and you'll find out pretty quickly. So my first shipment after the 700 wood is 3 hussars. You can see my scout on the mini-map right now is creeping in behind, and oh, there I go to check. And I'm going to put him into stealth right away. I can see that he aged up with the 2 Skull Knight politician. And I haven't seen his warrior priest creeping around, so I know that without question he's on the fire pit, probably doing an experience dance, and the Aztec player will probably have continuous shipments for the next couple minutes, probably 10 mace, 9 mace, some coyotes and some pumas. And there I see that his first colonial card was likely the pumas. Of course I don't go anywhere near that with my cavalry, but I am going to try to raid a little bit during this time. Still trying to get that herd a little bit closer, still pretty far away. I'm looking for downed hunts when I do that. One of the nice things about this scenario is that I can see virtually all of the hunts due to the early scout. And as an auto player, sometimes that can be difficult simply because you're spending so much time with your explorer building trading posts, and you don't have converted guardians or anything like that. And there I see a huge mass of green walking across. Never ever pick green as your game color. It stands out like a sore thumb on the mini-map. I actually may not have noticed it if it was a different color. And that's sort of a weird tip, but it definitely is a weird tip. And I'm gonna get 3 villagers or something here, and I see the Puma and Skull Knight and War Chief, which boosts those units right there, so I'm gonna run away as quick as I can. And I'm starting to build up some abyss here, and when he comes in here I notice he's going for my houses, and I quickly check my population to see what the scenario is there, because if you get housed by an Aztec rush, he's really probably going to get you hard. I already lost a trading post to him. I don't want to lose more. He is a fairly skilled player. I know that if he manages to house me here, that the chances are it's GG. He doesn't immediately put his fire on my villagers, so I let them gather as long as possible. I also don't ring the town bell. I've got settlers way back on hunts and settlers gathering other things. It makes no sense for me to ring the bell and have my entire eco come in and do this. You'll notice during this whole time I'm trying to keep the hussars on the maces, of course, because cav beats light infantry, and the abyss on the heavy infantry. If you heard that noise, by the way, that was just this computer case falling off the side of my computer. And as I'm eating down my numbers here with my town center shots, it's pretty ugly for him. The score is going up in my favor right now. It's 79 to 67. And I'm just shipping resource crates at this point to help me out. Meanwhile, I'm sending my cav around to give him a hard time. Even if you have 2 hussars, you can give him a guy a hard time like that. You might not get any villagers. You may. But if you're keeping him off the resources and you're keeping him on his toes, that'll be hugely important. Again, in this game, the scout treasure was really quite important for me. Now you're probably wondering against what civs you could use a build like this against. Well, I'll start off by I'll tell you who you shouldn't use it against. I wouldn't use it against India or Japan, and in fact with Ottoman it may be kind of lame, but I try to avoid playing them in most cases in this patch just because I think it's such an unbalanced match. This build will work against all of the Euro civs except for ports. For ports, you can either do a fast Yanni rush or and and even then I should call it a fast Yanni harass, because you don't want to run in because colonial militia will kill you. And against any of the war chief civs as well. Sioux, I would recommend Yanni Abbas, however, though. That's it for my VOD. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm going to try and get more and see what else I can contribute.